Well, it seems like the one great sci-fi movie that I thought wouldn't get a sequel just officially got a sequel. Blade Runner 2 has just got itself an Oscar-nominated director and has also got itself a megastar for the lead, none other than Harrison Ford himself. At least I think that's how you pronounce Harrison Ford. If you listen to him, it would be Harrison Ford, Harrison Ford, Harrison Ford. To be honest with you, I'd be much more excitable if I was the biggest star on the planet. It seems that one of the writers behind the project is a chap called Hampton Fancher, and he wrote, or co-wrote rather, the original. And along with Michael Green, he seems to have produced a script that Harrison Ford actually likes. And it will all be helmed by Denis Villeneuve, who is a Canadian director who's made his name with films like Enemy and Prisoners. Other than your usual press release platitudes, there is a lot of other information we can gather just from the names of the people behind the camera, and also the fact that Harrison Ford has agreed to step on board. And before I move on, press release platitudes are meaningless. They are things like, we are pleased to announce, going forward, working in partnership with, this iconic property. It's very easy to write press release platitudes. All you have to do is cup your hands like this, and then just blow some hot air. But anyway, on to the news itself, and it staggers me that Harrison Ford is making this film because he didn't like the first one. He said that making the first Blade Runner was a tough shoot, and I can understand that because any film where it's dark and rains constantly, all the time, is going to be a tough one to make. The only thing I would say to Harrison Ford is never come to the north of England, you really wouldn't like it. And in terms of the original material for the first film, he sounds like he didn't like that either, or certainly didn't like it one way or another, as he told one journalist. He said that he was a detective that didn't do much detecting, which is probably a good thing then that he wasn't in the movies Seven or Inspector Gadget. He wouldn't have liked them either. In fact, most detective films either seem to include one extreme, either sitting in a library reading dark, scary books, or having pianos fall on your head. Just pick your genre. Harrison Ford also resisted one particular idea. Spoiler alert, he believed that his character shouldn't be a replicant. Although he did say he resisted that, just as a replicant would. Now that's the only thing that scares me. If Harrison Ford liked the script, does that mean they've retconned it then, so that his character is no longer a replicant? I really hope not. I said I don't think there will be any retcon just to please Harrison Ford. There is too much of a fan base out there, both in terms of sci-fi geeks like me and badged up critics, that would have an uproar if you went back and changed everything that made the first film so interesting. It makes me wonder why Harrison Ford likes the script at all. Is it that he's mellowed over the years, or have they done something extra interesting with the script, added a twist or two to hook him in? I guess in a couple of years we're going to find out. So let's take a look at the crew behind the camera a bit more now, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that make the film tick. As I said yesterday in my Tomb Raider report, they make or break a film really. It's about quality. I don't care how much money they make. I'm not interested in that unless they give me a cut. So it's a good thing, I think, that they've got Villeneuve in, or at least they've got a changing director. Because at the end of the day, when Ridley Scott goes back to a project, as we've seen recently in Prometheus, he's not so interested in going over old ground as much as he's interested in doing something new with a franchise. And to say that that's had a Marmite effect with that movie is putting it mildly. So who is Villeneuve? Well, at the end of the day, he's an Oscar-nominated director, which is never a bad thing for your CV, I guess. He's probably best known at the moment for directing the film Prisoners. I am not a number, I'm a free man. No, not that one. This is a film with Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman in it, and it's about a father whose daughter goes missing and he takes the law into his own hands to sort things out. And it's very well liked by critics too, earning 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. Meanwhile, like I said, Fancher has had a hand in writing the first Blade Runner, whilst as a writer, Michael Green has had a hand in things like Gotham and Heroes. The less said about Green Lantern, the better. So to me, this is a solid team, and that's what you need at the moment, a steady hand to guide the ship. It's not made of big Hollywood superstar directors, nor is it made by keen indie upstarts, which seems to be the trend these days. And in many ways, the team kind of looked the same with the original Blade Runner. They were a very competent team of effects artists and writers and so on, but in many respects, the track record wasn't huge for mega blockbusters. Sure, Ridley Scott had proved himself with Alien, and he'd had the Duelists before that, but really he wasn't a household name. Really he was competent. That's what they took him on board for back then. Now he's a bit of a legend, but back then, probably more a competent hand, I would say. So for me, this isn't the most exciting news of all, but it's good news because these people know what they're doing. They are steady hands to guide the ship. And that's ultimately what you need at the moment. We'll see when it comes out whether the film's any good, but until then at least we know that they're giving it the best chance. Hi there, and thanks for watching Film Waffle. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also click subscribe as well so you get all the latest movie news when it happens.